Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad, this is my channel Animate Orange, and this week in 3D metal model news. Been a while since I've said that. I've got a lot of catching up to do. Not going to cover everything in one video, but I am going to cover a lot this weekend. Going to focus on Metal Earth and stuff that I've missed, try to catch myself up. Basically, for starters, went to the Metal Earth Coming Soon page and What's New page, tried to pick up from where I left off. There's stuff on the What's New that I've talked about. It may have only talked about it when it was coming soon, but I've talked about it, and I'm going to kind of try and talk about stuff that I haven't talked about at all for the most part. Starting on the What's New page with the Hogwarts Express with tracks. I think I have talked about that. I'm not real sure. Pretty sure that this is the same model that was available as an exclusive from Books A Million. And I'm fairly certain I've talked about the Books A Million exclusive before. I've actually got one of them here, still haven't built it, but it was basically the Hogwarts Express with tracks included and in color. What I believe has happened is that it moved from being an exclusive at Books A Million to just being a regularly released model. I think that happened with a couple of other things. Something to do with the way the contract worked, the way I was only exclusive for a short term or a limited term. Though my understanding is while this box is exclusive to Books A Million, the model that you would get now through regular means is just a card sheet type packages that all Metal Earth models are in. So I've kind of talked about it, but I want to at least touch on it. That is now available for you to buy through your regular Metal Earth outlet. It is a challenging model, 5 sheets, and the dimensions is kind of long. The engine, just the main train engine part of it, is 4.25 by 0.79 by 1.34 inches, or 10.8 by 20, or excuse me, 10.8 by 2 by 3.6 in height. The last number is always height, centimeters. The coal car, which is, you know, the coal car that travels behind it, is 2.44 by 0.71 by 1.06 inches, or 6.2 by 1.8 by 2.7 centimeters. Overall dimensions, 7.5 by 1.5 by 1.6, height's the last number in millimeters, or centimeters, excuse me, no, inches, and 19.1 by 3.8 by 14.1 in height, centimeters. A bit complicated. If that confuses you, just go to the Metal Earth website and look it up. It's all spelled out there. The next thing I remember mentioning at some point, I don't know if it was just through posts or if I actually made a video, it is the USPS LLV mail delivery truck, which I thought was kind of neat. Neat that they're coming out with that. At one point I almost bought like a model from the post office because it's just neat. It's a neat little piece of history. The LLV stands for Long Life Vehicle. It is a vehicle that was put into operation, I don't remember how many years ago, and the intention was it was going to last a long time, easily upgradable, serviceable, so they can continue to use it, and they have been around for a long time, so there is talk of replacing them with something else at this point. But yeah, they basically had parts from, I want to say they had parts from different manufacturers just all bundled into one thing to make it work. Now, I know, an interesting tidbit, I have the rims that I have, my winter rims from my Ford Ranger, are the same rims that are on the post office truck that delivers my mail, except mine have been painted black. Got them from a junkyard off of another Ranger. So, and I want to say they have GM rear ends or something, or GM engine, I don't know. Anyway, the mail truck, I'm getting off topic. That was last I heard something that was previewed or coming soon or talked about. Now it's available. And then we have one that I pretty well missed, and it's the Premium Blue Angels FA-18 Super Hornet. Very nice looking, very colorful, plain design. ICX 212, 2 sheets, challenging build, finished size of 5.51 by 4.92 by 5.71 inches, centimeters. It's 14 by 12.5 by 14.5. You know, I have mixed feelings about planes. I don't know that much about them. They're kind of, some of them are kind of really cool to look at. Some of them are really cool to look at, not kind of, but they can be very challenging to build. I would really like to build this one. It's very pretty and looks really fun. I should go back. The mail delivery truck, the USPS LLV mail delivery truck, is MMS 468. It is listed as moderate, 3 sheets, finish size of 2.99 by 1.42 by 1.5 inches, or 7.6 by 3.6 by 3.8 centimeters. And I don't think I mentioned the Hogwarts Express with tracks model number is MMS 447. So the Hogwarts Express and the delivery truck, mail delivery truck, are both Metal Earth models. The premium Blue Angel FA-18 Super Hornet is what used to be called Iconics. They're going with premium now, but the model number still starts with ICX, which is always an Iconics model number. Flipping over to the coming soon, I know I've at least posted about this on like Instagram or possibly on YouTube. I don't know if I've actually talked about it. I'm a little bit excited about it. It is the ICX 231, the Monitor and Merrymac. Those are, if you're not familiar with these ships and their place in history, I did a little bit of a high school report about it back in the day. They were the first 2 ironclads, at least here in the U.S. One was an old Confederate ship that was captured by, or no, an old, I get this story confused because it's kind of twisted around. The Merrimac was the Virginia, which was a southern ship but captured by the North and rebuilt. Like, it was burnt down to the water at one point, and they rebuilt the top with iron plates to make it into an ironclad ship. And it was a northern ship that was captured by the South and then rebuilt. And the Monitor was built by the North from scratch as a sort of almost but not quite submarine ironclad thing. It was very low to the ground, had a turret on it, a bit more advanced, whereas the other just had guns all around it. The Monitor was faster and could move. It didn't have as many guns, but it could move quicker and move around the other ship and fire. Neither one of them could defeat the other because they were still using cannonballs and they couldn't get through the iron plates. And it makes the story even more complicated because the Monitor, for whatever reason, went southbound to the coast of North Carolina and ended up sinking in a storm, and they found it off the coast of North Carolina. I know this because I used to live in North Carolina. It was all over the news when they found it. So it twisted in my head the actual story of it, but I think it's really fascinating. Civil War ironclad ships, they're going to make models of it. Didn't expect them to pull that out of history and bring it back, but I'm all for it. So Monitor and Merrymac, ICX 231, 3 sheets, challenging build. The Monitor in inches, finished size 5.8 by 1.4 by 1.2 centimeters. It's 14.73 by 3.56 by 3.05. The Merrymac in inches, 8.4 by 1.65 by 2.2. In centimeters, 21.34 by 4.19 by 5.59 height, last number. So 2 different ships in one model. I wonder if that's going to come in a box. I'm looking forward to that. Now, other models that were peaked or talked about, sneak peeked, whatever you want to call it, in Metal Earth newsletters but haven't made it on their website. We have the Transformers color model. There's been at least 2 different newsletters that have talked about it. The first one I think showed one model with a bunch of shadows, and then there were more information added later. What I had as of, I want to say Thursday, because things keep changing. What I had as of Thursday is we had been shown the Megatron, the Optimus, and the Bumblebee models out of this 5 lineup. There's 2 that are still shadowed. It's not that hard to make out what they seem to be. They look like one of them is going to be Soundwave, which would make sense because Soundwave was the 4th of the original silver models they put out. The other one kind of looks like it's got wings on it, like maybe a Starscream, which was my suggestion and what I have in my notes when I was making this video. I point that out because we're going to get more information here soon. But those were teased in the newsletters. We don't have anything quite official, at least not through the website. The other thing that was teased was the Lord of the Rings models. They were teased again. All we had was a outline, kind of a shadow with no information. The shadow looks like Barad-dûr. I hope I said that correct. Basically the big tower with Sauron's eye in it that fell over at the end of the story, and that seems to be the outline of that. There was quite a while back, if you don't remember, quite a while back they teased Lord of the Rings models and even showed some like mock models that are made out of plastic or something, or I don't know, they were white, not the usual metal shape, and this was back in the earlier days of colored models, so they teased a couple of other things, but nothing ever came of it. Now we have another hint that something is coming. The last thing that came out in one of the newsletters was a Spider-Man model, him all kind of spread out in action pose. So very excited about that, but none of this has been talked about. None of this is on the coming soon page. It's just been hinted at newsletters. So they're being very slow. Been going for months. They've been very slow about hinting at this stuff. Another thing that I found very interesting when I was working on my videos for the putting all of this behind me back together is they have updated their list of retiring models. On Middle Earth, there are a lot of things that have been added. I haven't paid attention to the retired models in a while, but I just happened to see, I was looking for the name of something and it came up on as retiring. So I had to take a moment to check out retiring and retired models that are listed on their website. And honestly, like if you go to the Middle Earth website, it shows some retired models. If you go to the fascinations.com website, you'll get more, and they're not always the same information. There are models that listed as retired that I'm not sure I knew about. Like I did not go back and check in what I have done before. It's something I could do, but I have been busy. But there are some models that I don't remember talking about them having been either retired or on the retiring list. Those would be the Vespa Primavera 150 and the Classic Vespa 125. Those don't seem that old to me, and I don't remember them being on the retiring or retired list before, though maybe they were and I forgot. There's the Monster Truck, which I questioned because they came out with a newer one, and I want to say there may have been some hint that they were retiring the older one. Then there's the Checkered Cab. I'm not that surprised. That is an older model. The Penny Farthing. Disappointed, but it is kind of an older model. And the Big Apple Tour Bus, which surprised me. I can't help but to think that's a licenses issue, and they just cannot continue to make that because the license expired or something. But I don't know. Those are retired models that I'm not sure that I've talked about before. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Wanted to touch on here. In the retiring list on the fascinations.com site, we have quite a list that surprised me. And there are a lot of Star Wars models in this, which I find a little surprising. Just from the Solo releases, we have Han Speeder, Malak's Land Speeder, Enfy's Nest Swoop Bike, and in the Imperial AT Hauler. Those are all the 4 that were released when the Solo movie came out, and it looks like all 4 of those are getting retired. But that's not all. There are, as well as Star Wars, there are other models that are being retired. The Independence Hull, the Resistance Ski Speeder from The Last Jedi, the Resistance Bomber, also from The Last Jedi, the Lighthouse of Alexandria. Don't feel like that's that old of a model, but it's being retired. Krennic's Imperial Shuttle from Rogue One, the U-Wing Fighter, also from Rogue One, the Premium Leaning Tower of Pisa, an older model, so okay. Premium Chrysler Building, I think I may have that one, kind of an older model. Premium Burj Al Arab, now Premium used to be known as Iconics, so older model. The Premium Taipei 101, I constantly forget that that's even a model, so that's not a good sign for it. The Washington Monument, which is got to be the easiest model to build. It's like 3 pieces. It's being retired. And the Brandenburg Gate, which surprises me a little bit, but it is an older model. I enjoyed building that one. All of those models are listed on the retiring page. So if it's something you want to get, you should probably look into getting it fairly soon before it's retired, production is stopped, and it's no longer made. That being said, the depths of which the copycat models from China have gone, you could probably find a copycat version out there somewhere. I think they even have the cat models now. Quality, the metal may not be as good, but you can still get it. If you want the Metal Earth version, probably should look into buying it fairly soon because they're going to stop making them. And that is quite a lot of information, more so than I expected. On one hand, it makes sense. I've been going a while. On the other hand, half of that is just retiring models and sneak peeks that never actually came out like with any more information. So in one way it feels like not that much has happened since I've gone. The other way it feels like, yeah, I've been going a while, a lot has happened. But we're not done, because I was going to try and shoot for this video earlier in the week. Things didn't work out. I've been busy. It's kind of good, because Friday, as I'm heading to work, I get a message from someone who shall remain anonymous about retail catalogs that have come out. Retail catalogs that I can no longer get. At one point, anybody can get the retail catalog, but they are just for people who retail sell the models, because Metal Earth doesn't sell the models direct to the public. They sell them through retailers, and those retailers have catalogs of what they can order with order numbers and model numbers and so on and so forth. I've been sent some pictures from that catalog, and there are some unexpected surprises in there, as well as some of the stuff that we talked about. This gives it some more confirmation. I've made a list. The only order that it's in is by what I saw on the pages. The first one I teased about on Instagram Friday. It is the Quidditch Pitch. So a Harry Potter model. It is basically the arena for Quidditch. There's a model of it. Completely didn't expect that. That's a really interesting choice. The Harry Potter lineup seems to be another fairly popular, fairly well-selling model design, model lineup from Metal Earth. I would say second to Star Wars, but I kind of wonder about that now with some of the Star Wars models being retired. And to my knowledge, none of the Harry Potter models have been retired. Anyway, that's an interesting model that is listed in their catalog for retailers to order that we've not heard a peep about, or at least I haven't. The next one is ones that we've kind of talked about and I guessed at. And I talked earlier about Transformers, in-color Transformers models being teased through the newsletter. Well, the catalog shows all of the models that we talked about, plus the two that I guessed at. We already knew about Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Megatron in color is coming at some point. The details about them, whether or not they're the same size as what we already have in silver and just in color, whether or not they're going to be bigger or premium, I'm not sure. I take that back. They're not going to be premium. They're all MMS starting model numbers. So just me personally taking a quick look at the model numbers for the colored Transformers models. They both start as MMS like the previous silver models, but the numbers are just different. Like the original series are in the 300, MMS 3 something something. These newer ones are MMS 4 something something. So a lot of times, let's say previously if a model was made in both silver and gold through Metal Earth, the silver one may be an S, it may be MMS number S, and the gold may be MMS number G, or maybe one of them has no letter at the end and the other one does have a letter signifying one is silver and one is gold. They may be the same numbers with just different additions. Like one model may be MMS 300 and it's silver, but the gold one is MMS 300G. That's not what's going on. That's not what's going on here. They're just completely different numbers. So all I can extrapolate from what I think I know, that they're just going to be regular Metal Earth models, not premium or iconics, just in color. So anything is possible. They could be a slightly larger size but not considered premium. They could be the exact same models with color on them. They could have different detail. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And the pictures that I got are tiny, so can't see much. What we do know is what the two shaded out models are. The two shaded out models are Starscream and Soundwave. So I pretty much already guessed at it. The outline gives it away, and Soundwave made a lot of sense because we'd already had a Soundwave model. And they already did a recoloring what we already have. And Starscream, well, you know, fairly logical addition, especially given the outline. The catalog also included a picture of the Spider-Man with his pose. We kind of already knew about that one, but I'm including it anyway. We also have, I had two different pictures of another Iron Man suit, and this is Iron Man LXX5. I think that's 3 X's and a V, or LXXV, excuse me, which translates to 85, so Mark 85. Iron Man suit, a much newer suit than what we had previously. and I do believe it starts with an ICX, so it is an Iconics model, or a Premium Series larger model this time. That being said, the Iron Man that we had before, which is way up there, kind of almost out of view, was a regular Metal Earth model, but larger than the other Metal Earth model at the time. So who knows what's actually going to happen. But something else that they haven't officially announced that's in the catalog. And then another surprise for me is we have Boba Fett's Starfighter, which most people would call Slave 1. This one is actually in color. Now, maybe they're just differentiating the name for the sake of it's a different model. Probably some tie-in with the Book of Boba Fett series. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it makes sense. Book of Boba Fett just wrapped up its first season. That was a fun watch. Why wouldn't they promote Boba Fett related stuff again? I have seen, like, on the Innovatoys page, they're promoting Boba Fett models, like the Slave 1 and the helmet, which I think is the Silver Slave 1, and the Boba Fett model. So it all ties together whether you wanted to or not. But a color one, it's cool. I know being a lot of the people would throw money at that. There's a couple more models that have been hinted at and forgotten about and hinted again, and now we actually have some sort of tiny but more definitive picture. We have the Orthunk Tower. I may have said that correctly or incorrectly. I'm not very good at pronunciation, and I'm not going to go watch the movie just to find out. Not right now. Orthunk Tower from Lord of the Rings. We also have Barad-dûr, the other tower that it looked like was an outline of in the newsletter that we got some time back. So now we have 2 Lord of the Rings models in catalog for the retailer. So with model numbers, I don't have it here in my notes. Look at the picture closely, you might be able to see the model number. But yeah, coming soon, coming eventually. Retailers at least have it in their catalog. And the last but not least, the one that surprised me and probably makes me the most excited, that really caught me off guard, we're going to get an Ecto-1. There is a picture of Ecto-1 in the catalog from Ghostbusters. That is super exciting for me personally. I, last weekend, just finished watching, or just watched the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. If you are a Ghostbusters fan and you have not seen this movie, I highly recommend you find a way to watch it. It is a fantastic addition to the first and second movies. I've not seen the female version. I do have that. I didn't get that because I haven't seen it, and I want to see it just so I can see it. I've heard lots of bad things, some good things. I'm going to make up my own mind. But from what I know of Ghostbusters 1 and 2, this is a direct connection to that story. It is much farther down the road. It is a realistic connection. Time has passed on, and it is a fantastic addition. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. I'm just super thrilled that they're bringing out Ecto-1. Didn't really look closely at the picture, and it is a small picture, whether or not it's going to be an Ecto-1 from back in the original trilogy, or if it's going to be kind of beaten up and rusted and dirty like the Afterlife, because you know they find this thing in the barn. If you've at least seen the previews on TV that had run for quite a while, you know that it's at least been found covered up in a garage, so it's dirty. But which one we're going to get, I don't know, but I'm excited about it. We're getting a movie car. It's fantastic. I'm super thrilled about that. I could waste a lot of time going on about how excited I am about that, especially after having just watched the movie, which I really enjoyed. But anyway, that pretty much catches us up with what's new, what's been going on since my leave of absence to move and get things back together with Metal Earth. There's a lot more out there. I've not covered P-School, I've not covered MU or any of the stuff, and I'm sure that list is going to be long and take a while, but I at least wanted to start somewhere and kind of get back in the groove of doing some sort of news video. Not making any guarantees of how often I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try to at least do an every other week thing when I can find the time. There's been a lot going on. What can I say? Buying a house and moving has taken up a lot of my time, and there's so many things I thought I'm going to do this, this, and this. And stuff has been sitting in a box waiting for me to open it up and put it together since November at least. All kinds of plans and things. I've got new lights that are still sitting in the box. I've got bookcases that are still sitting in the box. And things to fix that, yeah, just so much going on. But I'm going to do my best. And I did start a Peacock model to get back in the swing of things because somebody was talking about the Peacock model online. And I thought, you know, I've had that model for several Christmases now, and I should break it out and start putting it together. And that's, I got some time to build, and then I haven't had any time to build since then, but one can always hope. Always trying. Time is more limited, but it's good to get back into making videos again, into building models again. I'm looking forward to diving back in more and more. We'll leave it at that. I've rambled on plenty long enough. Thank you for watching, and as always, thank you to my Patreon supporters for continuing to support me in these videos, even though I haven't been active lately. Thank you for your support, and as always, thank you for watching. Keep on keeping on.